Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. All right. So the most important thing for me besides getting out the house on time was letting our maintenance guy there know that I've taken some very, very lukewarm cold showers in the morning. Man, it is driving me absolutely insane. Y'all know how I feel about my showers. I tell y'all how I like to pray in the shower and all that. Them showers don't last longer than 15 minutes because I can't stand to be in there. Like literally. Essentials out. Because that water is practically cold, man. I'm telling you, like, it's just tolerable. When you get it to a point where you got it turned all the way up to hot, it gives you moderate warm. Not even fully warm, moderate warm. I'm talking tolerable. Now, if it's a cold day, that's unacceptable. If it's a hot day, then you probably want a shower like that. Problem is, these are not hot days, man. It'd be cold in the morning. So when I get in that shower, I'm moving fast just to, you know, muster up enough friction to get warm. That's what I'm doing there. So yeah, it's been a tough experience I've already taken what, 5 showers in that room. It's been a tough experience, man. Definitely something that needs to be addressed before the end of that contract. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do that every day, twice or 3 times a day. Sometimes I take 3 showers, and so it's like, yo, that's gonna keep me from doing certain things that require me to get in the shower. Like, I ain't gonna want to work out as much because of that. It's like, nah, I can't. Y'all got to get in there and check that. So I was able to catch him on the way out the door. Hopefully they'll get to that while I'm gone, so that shower can get to a space where it's hot, man. Like, actually hot. Pressure's fine. It's not as good as the last pressure. And it's almost like it's made for a basketball player because it's up so high. I don't mind that at all. But when we start talking about temperature, I don't do cold showers, fam. I do not unless it's a really hot day. It gotta be hot as hell. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Right now, I'm headed over to the therapy session right now. Gonna enjoy that. Hopefully, everything goes well with Lydia. I said a prayer before I left the house and was meditating a little bit more than usual today and last night. As I was telling you guys in the previous video, my mom showed up in my dream, left me a really warm message and warm energy, telling me I gave her a second chance. I don't know what. I don't really know if that made any sense, but it was good to have her comforting me in a way that acknowledged how much prayer I had been in directly before going to sleep, which had me meditating and / praying for about an hour. And so, you know, I just want to be healthy mentally, man. This whole thing with Karen has just helped me understand how far away I am from being ready for a relationship, how far I am already for what could come when a relationship or a friendship goes bad. And I'm too old to be in a bad space when it comes to that. So that's what this has all taught me. And I want that aspect of my life straightened out very soon, so I can be in something that don't have to be perfect in order for me to be okay. You know what I mean? I probably pushed that young lady away. As bad as I wanted to make it so that she would be the person I'm pointing at in that direction, I can't blame her for looking at me and saying, nah, that dude's a bit on the crazy side, I'm staying away. You know? And so that's just what's natural to think when you're on my end and you look at your own behavior. I don't know what she sees in me right now, if anything at all, but I do think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done to keep me from being overly expressive. It's the words I'll choose to use. And so with me having struggles with that throughout the course of these last couple of weeks, I want that not to be the case. I don't want to be so caught up on her that if I meet the right person, I push her away because I'm still stuck on K. It's just, if that's what's coming, I don't want that problem. I really don't want that to be something that helps me, that makes it so that I miss the bus, or that I'm not able to see what's meant for me or what is not, or what have you. I don't want those problems. So this is what all of this has taught me, amongst other things, is that I'm just not there, and I need to get there rather quickly at this age. And if I'm not to get there, then I need to stop dreaming of things and trying to incorporate people into my life as anything other than friends. Because if I'm gonna be like this, there's no happiness to be found. It's gonna be honest with you. It's not a whole lot of happiness in this. And so that's really what I'm looking forward to. It's just straightening that out, man. However that looks, I don't know what it looks like, but I don't want to go through this no more. this whole thing I've been going through these last 2 months, hell no. If I have my choice, my life won't go that way no more. So that's where I'm at with it. Other than that, I feel all right. I'm just feel okay, you know, nothing too serious. Happy to be out again today. I didn't get out yesterday, so I was ready to see some sunlight and just enjoy my life in the way I need to, and just ultimately put myself in a position to have the help necessary be available to me. You know, be proactive in my own quest for wellness, and be a bit more proactive in everything that I do. And I hope to be able to get home before 5 o'clock, actually before 4 to be honest with you, so I have time to shower and eat, and then comfortably watch the Laker game that starts at 5. I have mixed feelings about early games because on one hand, we don't have to stay up till midnight talking about the games and watching them depending on if they're going to overtime. But on the other hand, if you got things to do in the daytime, these games be starting a little too early. If you got a job and you don't get off till like 6, and games be starting like 2 hours before that, you missed the whole game. So I just got mixed feelings about how that goes for us Western Conference people. But you know, it is what it is, man. I'm sure the East feels the exact same way when our games start at 10:30 at night, and they Laker fans, it's very tough in the East Coast for that. So just deal with it. But yeah, man. All right, I'm feeling all right. Energetic. Been working out more, not less, over the last couple of days, so that's helpful. Seeing the definition I'm looking for, that's all very encouraging. And just continuing to do my thing, man. Trying not to stress over anything. Body's not been reacting well to the food I've been eating, though. Even though I've gotten certain things out of my diet, apparently still having some of the same issues without those things. So I don't know if it's the bread they got something in. I'm allergic to every damn thing, man. So maybe it's something in the bread that's been causing me problems, but that's been a thing over the last 2 days as well. And as I told you, I was having shortness of breath on, was it Monday? Which is something that I'm not used to, man, with the type of shape I'm in. It's the last thing you want to be dealing with. So just trying to get over myself, man. As I'm getting older, still trying to take care of myself, but I'm having these health issues mentally and physically that are just like frustrating, very frustrating. So I feel all right now, a little lightheaded, but that's par for the course with what I've been dealing with, to be honest with you. It ain't stopped me from doing nothing. I still got strong legs, I'm kicking. But yeah, man, just living, man. It's tired of being alone to a degree, to be honest with you. It don't feel the same way as it did in Lenox. When I was in Lenox, I had my own sanctuary. I wasn't constantly being uprooted every 3 weeks, constantly wondering if I'm gonna be able to get a contract. It's just a stress every 3 weeks. I think is also wearing down on me. It don't hit the same way when you're trying to find solitude by yourself, but you're constantly going out every day, constantly doing something that has to be addressed, or going home a lot, as I've been doing, going to Hollywood and stuff like that. It just ain't the same vibe as it was when I was in Inglewood, enjoying being alone. It just ain't the same, you know. And that whole situation, stressing over Kay being in my life in the way that I wanted her to be, that wore me down, man, over the last couple of months. It has just been like, Jesus Christ, man. That ain't it, man. It just ain't. You don't enjoy your life when you spend most of your time feeling the way I've been feeling. It just ain't, you don't enjoy life. But, you know, at the same time, as I've been telling you, I've been waging war against the enemy. Striking first. Talking about all that evil stuff he's doing over there in Gaza. So he was definitely going to try to hit me with whatever way he could, and he did. A lot of the time, too. He struck back. But I don't know how not to fight him. I don't know how not to talk about those things. And so it is what it is. So my heart right now, same old stuff, man. Seeing what's going on over there, it's the same old stuff. They're not changing nothing. They're not stopping nothing. They're still acting like it ain't happening. It's the same old stuff, man. You're sick of that. And at the same time, you get to a point where you understand that change is being made because people ain't reacting to it the same way. More people are protesting. More people are on the same page you're on, and that's very encouraging. You know, where I was at 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, we're hearing a lot more new people coming around saying, yo, this is horrible. What the hell? What's been going on? You know, Israel ain't who they say they were, etc. That's not who we supporting, and all of this good stuff is finally coming around. People get it. They truly get what's going on over there. So, you know, it's for somebody who's been paying attention to it for the last 6 weeks and seeing this stuff on my phone the way that I have. I just wanted to see some people come around, man. See some people see what I'm seeing. You know, literally. See some people see what I'm seeing. And be as outraged as you should be when you see stuff like that. And understand that a lot of us been looking at this stuff the whole time. This has not changed. They ain't looked over here yet, bro. I swear to God, some of these people, man, they should not be driving these trucks now. As usual. It's always one of these when it comes to me. Always. Anyway, I'm sick of them damn truck drivers. But nevertheless, you know, it gets to a point where you're finally starting to see others see what you see. You don't necessarily just see the dystopian is the word I've been using, or the Twilight Zone type behavior of people who are acting like this ain't happening or not aware of it or claiming they don't see it or all types of different stuff. It's just not true, man. People see it now. They see it. This is what's happening. You can either choose to support. You can choose to support it and be pleased with it, or you can have a feeling about it and grow tired of it. And that's really where most people are at. They're learning and they're seeing. And that's ultimately what I was hoping my voice would contribute to. That's ultimately what I think the enemy did not want me to contribute to. Because I have a way of articulating things. I have a consistency about myself. Don't let up. I really do love that car, by the way. I got a way about myself that people hear what I have to say, they're gonna listen in a different way. It's just the gift I have for words and how I describe things. So he don't want me blowing up. He don't want me becoming famous. He don't want people listening to me. He don't want me leading the charge or anything. And that's why he's trying to tear me down. And I understand that. He wants to attack my heart, attack my health, attack my esteem, my living situation, try to tempt me into circumstances that'll make me guilty of something or what have you, so I can have him under his thumb and all different types of stuff. That is very necessary to slow me down. Very necessary to not allow me to rile up people against him. And so try to do whatever he can. I'm pretty sure he's not done. I'm pretty sure I can expect another type of attack of some sort. I'm not welcoming it, but he ain't welcoming me, so it is what it is. But we are now somewhere around 8,000, 9,000 children murdered in Gaza. I'm not supporting that, man. Not for money, not for power, not for my dreams coming true in the one life that I have. I don't know what y'all on, man. On one hand, y'all so fearful of losing all your dreams now that you found it in some cases. On the other hand, you're so selfish, caught up in your own world that you don't care for what happens to somebody else. And that's exactly what the enemy wants for you. And when it's time for something to happen to you, that's exactly the type of love you're going to get. Because that's going to be everywhere around you because you upheld that shit. Won't be me, though. That's what it really comes down to. I ain't going to be on that part of it. I don't care if it's 3 people talking about this in a way that makes it condemned. Israel is doing wrong over there, man. That's it. And they're not really Israel. We need to call them something else. It's take back the Lord's name for his people. Every time I look in the Bible, he's talking about Israel this, Israel that. He is not talking about them evil bastards over there in 2023. That's not who he's talking about. He's likely talking about the people that they're hurting. He's likely talking about me. He is not talking about them. So we need to take that name from them. They don't have a right to use that name anymore. Let me be the person that says that. I don't even want to call them that no more. As every time I read the Bible and listen to Christians talk about how they support Israel, I know they're not talking about them. I know they think they're talking about them, and that's where the con is. That's not who that is, man. And that needs to be said 176 times. a day, an hour. So our minds can wrap our heads around that as we continue to be confused about what it is they put in place for us to be confused by. They are not Israel. They just call themselves that to confuse people. That's it. Those are some other devilish entities that likely need to be called Satan. Satan real. That's who they really are. Let's be honest. It's more than clear that's not who they are. It's more than clear. And just because they have control over the money, I'm not moved by money like that. I like as much money as the next person. I needed to get by just like the next person. But as far as me hoarding it, so that in the presence of them doing all of that, man, they can have that money. I'll burn that shit. To get them kids back, I'll burn that money. It's not that serious. So whatever it is they holding over people's heads in the name of money, I'm telling y'all, man, it don't hold the same value. It's never gonna hold the same value as your last name and the names of your children. When you realize that the currency that they hold and that they have power over is gonna lose value, just like their credibility is gonna lose credibility, you understand that you're behind in regards to catching up. And what they have power over ain't even the same thing no more. It's like I told y'all 6 weeks ago. They don't have the same power. Why? Because they're from a world where they weren't looked at as baby killing bastards. They're in a world where they can do that to those people and nobody actually paying any attention to them. Everybody paying attention to them. You can't do that and think people aren't going to have a feeling to say about it. We're going to have something to say about it. And then from there comes your money being messed with more or less. Now stuff don't necessarily hit the same. Now when you go on vacation, you ain't getting the same looks. Now when you wave your flag, people looking at you crazy. It ain't the same world they're in. So I don't know why anybody would think that they have the same power. It's a different world. And just because they want to live in a world where they can do this to people and not have them be considered people does not mean we're going to do that. Those are human beings. I don't give a damn what color they are, what creed they are, your kids, my kids, everybody's kids. The kids, man.
You don't have $2.
I'm sorry, no, not at the moment. But that's just what it is, man. You can't do that to children and think people are going to be sitting back saying, well, I mean, because they look like them and because you are who you are and because you got your power and because you control all the money and because you can put us all in this and that and because you're applying certain tactics that would otherwise demoralize them and we don't want that applied to us because we're selfish bastards. We're going to let that happen. No, fam. None of that. None of that. You demoralizing them is not going to put fear in my heart as it pertains to telling you to stop doing what you do. It's not going to happen. That's what they need to understand. And just because we sit in the bowels of the place from which they control does not mean they can control our spirits or that they are our gods. They are not. They are weak entities that attack children. That is who they are. Attack the weak with the insecurity of their hearts. That is who they are. They need to apply weird, demented, and horrible tactics to destroy a people to make themselves have land. That's who they are. They don't have that land if they don't do these things. And they can't do these things in the dark anymore because they did them in front of everybody and now we're making sure they're seen. They don't have that power no more. That's not what it is. The only time they can look forward to is a time where people are looking at them different. That's it. The only power they have is the power of the people who agree to ignore the truth from which I just spoke. That's it. They don't have that power no more. It's people who are allowing them to uphold that power in the presence of not being able to think this through. You gotta know when it's over for somebody. Just because they've had power for 106 years doesn't mean it's not a new day. It's a new day. They can't do that shit anymore. It's over for that. And there's a lot of people who aren't smart enough or are too clouded by the darkness and the fear to really understand that. It can't be the same thing anymore. They changed the world with that action. That's their choice. They could have been upholding their power with better ways and stay in the dark and still be the same people, but they didn't want to do that. Their evil and their hatred towards a specific type of people and their need for a specific land put them in a position to have a specific target on them now. And that's it. They got to live with that now. It doesn't get much easier for them anymore. It just doesn't. And I don't care how much money they got, how much power they got, how many people they got controlled. It does not matter. At the end of the day, they don't control everybody. And because of it, the walls will close in on those bastards. And some of us are smart enough to know that and get out in front of that and stop treating them like they are the control of the world just because they still have a firm grip on a bunch of stuff that is slipping from within their clutches. That is what exactly I have to say about them. They got about 5 more minutes. They better keep on doing as much as they can. Because the world is starting to understand that they are bad for business. That's the bottom line, man. They're bad for business. In a capitalistic world that allegedly they control, they are terrible for business. They let their evil, their ego, and their need to be evil toward others put them in a position to no longer be the money makers that they ultimately have always been. They changed the world on themselves. It's self-destructive just like every other demonic entity. And now some of their own people are speaking out against them. Some of their own soldiers starting to come out and say, yo, I didn't like what they had me do. It made me feel uncomfortable. I didn't understand it. You can see it in some of the eyes of the soldiers who are doing right now. No, they damned. They know they damned. Just like some of ours know we damned. Why? Because we're doing stuff we know we shouldn't. Just because people who were in charge of us, who have higher rank and represent our country, have told us to do that, and we brainwashed into believing that's God. That ain't God, fam. That ain't God. Their money is not God. They can't heal their asses of no cancer or nothing. For what is not understood cannot be fixed by these people. They are not God. If they were God, they would be able to do this without nobody like me talking about it. They wouldn't be struggling to censor people who are not shutting up. They're not God. And quite frankly, they don't have the friends they think they have. Because when it comes to talking about the shot, you saw more censorship, better censorship, more efficient censorship. And I want people to pay attention to what it is I just said. When it came to the shot, they were doing a much better job of keeping people quiet. That's a different evil. Evil nevertheless, but a different one. That's not Israel. Israel don't have them type of friends. They just think they do. They got fear over people. It ain't friendship. There's a difference. When people are afraid of you, they can't wait to open up the back door on you. Always remember that, my friends. If you are striving to be someone who holds fear over people's hearts, you remember everybody who is afraid of you can't wait for you to go away, so that for which makes them fearful can go away too. You don't have power. Fear is not real power, man. It has an expiration date, so you better get done what you need done before that fear dissipates, or before those who are not afraid of you start opening up the back gates. That's the reality of it. You're going to be turned on. And that's exactly what's about to happen to those evil bastards over there. It's like I told y'all about 4 weeks ago. That's what's coming. That's what's coming. They're going to get turned on. Their very own people going to start showing up what they do. Start saying, nah, we don't want to do this. Start botching the missions and all that stuff in different weird ways and make them look stupid. I told you that shit was coming. Now all of a sudden they look incompetent. How they look incompetent? They had all the power in the world, right? How they incompetent? How they own bombs busting in their own places? How does that happen? Told you. And everything that comes after that is going to be deteriorating of the power that they hold. That's it. They did it to themselves. This is a self-destructive entity. Israel is self-destructive. All colonization energy is self-destructive in 2023 because it can't maneuver around the internet. And because of that, it ain't going to have the friends it needs. Now, if they could do all this in the dark, or if they were wise enough to do this in the dark, they'd be cool. But they're not. They want to do this in front of everybody to try to show strength. It ain't strength, it's weakness. There's a need and a desire to be seen doing wrong. There's a need and desire to be seen, period. If they had real strength, they wouldn't need that. Trust me, I display real strength every day. When I tell you I ain't chasing the numbers, still talk the way I want to talk. Don't give a damn how many people follow me or don't. That's strength. Because I don't need to control others or put others in positions to have me under their clutches or have fame or whatever types of stuff that people need. That shit is weakness. They're attached to that. They need that. Just like I needed responses from my friend K. That was my weakness. need to hear from her every morning or else I ain't feel right. It's always some type of attachment to something that otherwise, if they weren't attached to it, they would have more strength. They'd have more control. They'd be less vulnerable to what happens when they don't have it. Understand that about them. They need the land. Why they need that land? Because they need it. Got it. And they need to be able to control the children, right? You got to be able to kill the children and then make them terrified, right? Why do you need that? Why do you as a people need that? Because if you don't, what? Something that leaves your ass vulnerable, you weak. Simple as that. If they had all the power in the world, why would they need to torture people to keep it? If they had all the money in the world, why are they trying to take other people's land? They wouldn't need it. You're supposed to be the most powerful entity in the world. Why you ain't build space stations in the sky for your people? You know what I'm saying? Like real shit. Why you want to take land? Just use some of that infinite money and infinite power and make something unprecedented that all of us want and can't have. You ain't gonna do that though, are you? Why? Because you're too damn weak, too evil, and don't even recognize the power that you had because it ain't real power. You don't have it. And it's a very insecurity that's in them that would make it so that they would self-destruct in a way like this and then disgrace themselves on top of the shit. Not confused. The devil want me to stop talking about them. Please. Please. Give me a break. Ain't never gonna happen. As long as they wage war against children, I wage war against them. There's no way around that. As long as they out here slaughtering kids, I'm gonna be kicking their ass verbally. That's it. That's it. I'm gonna use everything in my power and living, breathing self to make sure people understand that there's nothing okay about what they're doing, no matter how many people say it's fine, no matter how many people are afraid of them. It's not okay to do that. You cannot do that to children and think people are gonna be quiet about it. It's not gonna happen. And they can silence me, I'll just make another 10 videos. For every one they want to silence me, I'll make 10 more. That's exactly how I feel about that. And I'm powered by the Holy Spirit. There ain't no way around that. There's nothing else in me that's making me as confident to talk about a power that has so much influence over so many people that so many people don't even want to say anything about this. But I tell you right now, I'm not moved. Can't be moved. Won't be moved. God has control over me. And that's really what it comes down to, man. So if they keep on doing what they're doing, they're going to keep on finding I'm not the only person like this. There will be more in the shadows for which they cannot reach or don't know to reach that will be saying very, very powerful things against them. And will reach the right eardrums because that is exactly how God has it designed for them to be deteriorated that way. So everybody they're trying to silence ain't going to silence enough of us. And we're not talking to one another, so you can't find us. There ain't no rhyme or reason to it. God exists. That's the point. Ain't no rhyme or reason to it. It's just us knowing from our heart and compassion from within our positions that they are not God. And that the fear that they have over the world by way of what is legal is not sustainable. And if they were really as strong as they say they are, there wouldn't be no reason to do the things that they do. And if they were as powerful as God, they wouldn't even want to. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.